Have you ever noticed that your mind can turn a small problem into a complete disaster? In just a few seconds, a friend doesn't reply, and suddenly you think they're upset with you. You make one mistake at work, and imagine losing your job. You feel a strange ache in your body, and your mind jumps to the worst possible conclusion. Even when nothing has happened, your brain acts as if danger is right around the corner. So why does it do this? Why does the mind seem so much better at imagining disaster than imagining everything will be okay? Today, let's explore the surprising psychology behind worst-case thinking. 1. Your brain was built to spot danger. Your brain wasn't designed to make you happy. It was designed to keep you alive. For most of human history, missing a real danger could have been fatal. But expecting danger, even when it wasn't there, usually came with a much smaller cost. Over thousands of years, our brains became incredibly good at asking one question: what could go wrong? That survival instinct still lives inside us today, even if the danger is now an unanswered text message instead of a predator. 2. Uncertainty makes the brain uncomfortable. One thing the brain dislikes almost as much as danger is uncertainty. When information is missing, your mind tries to fill in the blanks, sometimes with logic, but often with fear. If you don't know why someone is acting differently, your brain creates possible explanations. Unfortunately, negative explanations tend to arrive first, not because they're more accurate, because they're more memorable. 3. Anxiety turns up the volume. Everyone imagines bad outcomes occasionally, but anxiety changes how often this happens. When anxiety is high, the brain becomes extra sensitive to possible threats. It's like turning up the volume on an alarm system. Small problems suddenly feel enormous. Neutral situations begin looking suspicious. The world hasn't necessarily become more dangerous. Your brain has simply become more alert. 4. Past experiences shape future expectations. Our brains are constantly learning. If you've experienced betrayal, failure, or painful surprises, your mind may begin expecting them again. Not because history always repeats itself, but because the brain prefers being prepared over being surprised. Sometimes, what feels like pessimism is actually learned self-protection. 5. Your imagination doesn't know the difference. Here's something fascinating. When you vividly imagine something frightening, many of the same brain regions activate as if it were happening. Your heart rate may increase, your muscles tighten, stress hormones begin to rise, even though you're completely safe. Your imagination is powerful, sometimes too powerful. 6. The internet feeds catastrophic thinking. Modern life gives our brains endless examples of things going wrong. Bad news spreads faster than good news. Shocking stories receive more attention. Social media rewards dramatic content. Over time, your brain starts believing that disasters are everywhere. Not because reality has changed, because your attention has. 7. Catastrophizing feels like preparation. Many people believe that worrying prepares them. If I imagine the worst, I'll be ready. But psychology suggests something different. Most worrying doesn't solve problems. It simply rehearses fear. Instead of preparing for reality, the brain practices anxiety. Again, and again, and again. 8. Most of your predictions never happen. Researchers have found that many of the things people worry about never actually occur. And when difficult situations do happen, people often cope far better than they expected. The brain tends to underestimate one important thing: its own ability to adapt. You're usually stronger than your anxious thoughts give you credit for. 9. Ask a different question. When your mind says, "What if everything goes wrong?" try asking another question. What if I'm underestimating myself? Or, what evidence do I actually have? This doesn't mean ignoring risks. It means giving your brain more than one possible story. because fear rarely tells the whole truth. 10. Safety isn't the absence of uncertainty. Many people spend years trying to eliminate uncertainty completely, but life doesn't work that way. No relationship is guaranteed. No career is perfectly secure. No future is completely predictable. Real peace often comes from something else. Learning that you can handle uncertainty, even when you can't control it. 11. Your brain is trying to protect you. If your mind constantly imagines the worst, it doesn't necessarily mean something is wrong with you. It may simply mean your brain is working overtime to keep you safe. The problem is that an overprotective brain can make the world seem much scarier than it really is. Protection is useful, but only when it matches reality. If you've been caught in endless what-if thoughts, try not to see them as proof that disaster is coming. They're often just your brain doing what it evolved to do, searching for danger, trying to protect you. The good news is that you don't have to believe every frightening story your mind creates. Thoughts are not predictions, they're possibilities. And just as your brain can imagine the worst, it can also learn to make room for hope, because the future isn't written by your fears. It's shaped by what actually happens and by how you choose to respond when it does.